Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Rafa. Welcome back to JRE in a Nutshell, the only show online when we give you timestamps and opinions and sources and links of all of the JRE interviews. This week it was quite slow, only 3 interviews, but they are really cool. Pretty interested, especially a couple of them. We have some rock music from the 90s and the Afghan war. We have as well some controversies with the Dalai Lama, weird controversy with the Dalai Lama, and of course the Bud Light situation that's going on lately, and pretty cool stuff about social media from behind the scenes, a lot about Elon and Twitter, and extremely interesting cool shit about UFOs and aliens. So, amazing week. Don't go anywhere, and please don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe, and like if you like my shit. And yeah, let's get started. So let's start with Jason Everman. This guy's a musician. He used to play guitar for Nirvana, Soundgarden, and other bands. So Nirvana and Soundgarden, 2 bands where the singer ended up killing himself. Creepy shit. I don't know what the fuck kind of energy this guy's carrying. Then he was in the army. He went to Afghanistan, so they talk a lot about Afghanistan, the country itself, and about the war. There's pretty interesting information about some Greek structures that are in Afghanistan. Like the Greek Empire got all the way there, and they showed some Greek Buddhas. Pretty fucking cool. Like super interesting, this part. And then they move on to talk a little bit about life, about having kids, about experiences, evaluating experience over money, and all this kind of stuff. It was a nice, chilly interview. If you like these kind of topics, I mean, I grew up in the 90s, so for me, this hearing about Kurt Cobain and Chris Cornell and all of this rock and roll from the 90s was pretty cool. And the war in Afghanistan, well, it's not really my topic, but some of the things that they spoke about Afghanistan, the country itself, besides the war, I really enjoyed. So yeah, I give this interview 3 nuts. It's quiet, it's chilly, and yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. So now let's move on to Sam Tallent. This guy's a stand-up comedian, but this interview was very few about stand-up comedy. There were other really cool and interesting things. They spoke a lot of controversy. They spoke about this Dalai Lama kiss controversy that's been going on lately. They spoke about Bud Light, this trans ad with Dylan Mulvaney, and they talk about the pedophile ring and all of this kind of, let's say, Jeffrey Epstein directed kind of stuff. They obviously spoke about stand-up as well a little bit, and David Blaine and gold as a possible future currency after everything goes to shit, basically. So the guy's pretty funny, and the conversation was hilarious. For the full conversation, I give it 3.5 nuts. Super funny and interesting topics. I really recommend you to watch it. So now let's go to Bill Ottman. This guy is the founder of a social media platform called Minds.com, and he's really aware, since he's already there, he's very aware of all of the dirtiness and corruption and nuance corruption happening behind the scenes of social media in general. So it's a very cool, interesting conversation, especially since the moment it starts, they go really deep on Twitter before Elon took over, and the Twitter files, and Facebook and TikTok and all of this. They go behind the scenes, things that I've never heard before about social media. Super interesting. They speak about Elon a lot as well, and they go to UFOs as well, really deep things that I didn't know, and pretty cool, interesting informations. Also, they end with government conspiracy and something new that I had never heard before, called the Pentagon files. So the interview was pretty cool. The guy is super funny and cool and interesting, and really nice interview. I would give it 4 nuts, definitely. Super fun. Check it out. So now let's go to the timestamps of this amazing interview with Bill Ottman. Please remember to like, subscribe, and press the bell and all that stuff. Share with your friends, all that kind of good things if you like my content. Every follow and every like makes my day brighter. So thanks a lot for everybody who's watching and subscribing. I appreciate that a lot. I would also like to announce that we have opened a social media profile on minds.com and on Substack. So you can now find JRE in a nutshell on minds.com and on Substack. So let's start with the timestamps. Pretty cool interview. They start talking immediately about minds.com. Why is it different? How does it work behind the scenes? How's the coding working? What's the difference between them and Twitter and TikTok and all this stuff, and how the encryption works, how reading the messages work, how can the government hack Signal? All of this behind the scenes, the hacking mentality of everything controversially digital, of private data that's been going on in the last decade, let's say. Pretty cool shit. A lot of things I didn't know, a lot of ways. Now I'm gonna be even more careful. Everybody should know this stuff. Pretty cool. They move on to Elon Musk and all of that controversy. Like, now we go about to the front of social media, or the controversy, the corruption, the exchange, the Twitter files, and all of this banning and shadow banning and everything that had to do with the Twitter files. They speak about Substack as well. They speak about Rumble. They speak about other social media. They go all about other billionaires even. They go about many other cool subjects that are related to this. Pretty cool. They move to UFOs. Amazingly deep. This guy, he also likes UFOs as much as Joe, apparently. And they start going back and forth. Pretty cool conversation about UFOs and new information and possibilities and all of this cool shit that I've never heard. Some of it I've never heard before. I also like UFOs. And they move on to a more philosophical topic. What is consciousness? And the difference between an animal that is alive and an animal that is conscious, because it's not the same. And of course that connects a bit to political conversations and abortion and all these kind of things. And we end with something recent called the Pentagon files, where apparently there's a lot of dirty information confirming some pretty dark shit that has a lot to do with the Ukraine war right now. So honestly, this sucks that it happens, but the fact that it happens, it actually makes me happy, because every 3-4 months we're having a new leak. Everything is in chaos. The government is breaking down. It's all a mess, and I guess it's about time. It's about time that all of this charade starts to crumble down, and maybe we will move onto something better, hopefully. So those are the timestamps. As I said, 4 notes for this interview. Pretty cool and interesting. So, and that is a wrap for another JRE in a nutshell. Thanks you everybody for checking out my videos and my podcast and following me and supporting me and sharing me, whatever. If you like my content, please help me reach more people. A lot of people need this information, because I honestly think and believe from the bottom of my heart that everybody should watch the Joe Rogan Experience consistently. There's a lot of information, not only knowledge, but also motivational and fitness, and in the way that the argument is made, in the way that they do arguments, they discuss different topics. It's I don't know. In me personally, it grounds me, and it humbles me a lot. So it's a pretty cool piece of value that we should all take advantage of. So this is the motivation for doing this channel. To reach more people if I can help. So thank you very much for checking it out, sharing and all that stuff, and keep posted. I'll see you again next week. Peace.